Africa is where my story began, and it's where my future lies. As most would agree, it's no longer a continent of untapped potential, it's the continent of unlimited opportunities. Africa's story isn't just personal, it's economic. With a growing middle class, rising GDPs, and some of the youngest population in the world, Africa is attracting investors from everywhere. You want evidence of this? Well, Bloomberg recently reported that Citigroup bankers are having sleepless nights working on deals for investors who are about to come into Africa. That's proof that the world is waking up to the continent's potential, and I'm proud to be part of the transformation together with others in the African diaspora. For good old boring businesses to emerging industries, the time to invest in Africa is now. This is why in 2025, I'm committing 15K to investments in stocks, agriculture, and the transport sector. This isn't just about building wealth, it's about realizing the promise of our continent, and I'm excited to take you along on this journey. Now, 3 years ago, I set myself a challenge: open stock accounts in 10 African stock markets. I can proudly say that I'm on track, and in 2025, I'll be focusing my investments on 3 standout exchanges which have shown steady growth and stability in industries like consumer goods, utilities, sectors that thrive on Africa's rising middle class. Now, the Malawi Stock Exchange, which is up 170% in the past 3 years, a triple espresso of growth. The Ghanaian Stock Exchange, which is up 90% in the past 2 years. And yes, their stock market may be second here, but the Ghanaians still say their jollof is number one. Now, the third one, the Lusaka Stock Exchange, which is up 115% in the past 2 years, proof that the Zambians mean business. The Malawi Stock Exchange has been driven by consumer goods, consumer services, and the banking sector. Ghana, on the other hand, has been driven by offers in stability and the steady rise of consumer spending, especially in fast-moving consumer goods. And Lusaka, well, Zambia's focus on industrialization and mining makes it a hotspot for investments in things like industrials, power, and other companies supporting the country's industries. This isn't just about quick wins. This is about compounding returns over time, and I will target fast-moving consumer goods, industrials, utilities, because these are where most African households are spending their money. And yes, the dividends will be reinvested because, as we like to say here, compounding is the 8th wonder of the world, right after African aunties asking why you're still single. Now, here's where it gets personal. I grew up around cattle, and I've always wanted to have a herd of my own, particularly one of pedigree registered cattle. In my village, owning pedigree cows isn't just about wealth, it's a status symbol. Think of it as the raw equivalent of owning a luxury car. Fast forward to today, I have 25 actively breeding cows paired with a registered pure Boran bull from one of Zimbabwe's top breeders. Yes, even those bulls have LinkedIn profiles. Now, this 5,000 will go towards maintaining the herd. Talk of feed, veterinary care, and maybe a little upgrade for their home gym to keep them healthy, you know what I mean? And if this channel keeps growing, who knows, we might add 15 or more cows next year. Maintaining pedigree cattle isn't just about breeding, it's about creating a product that commercial farmers want. Crossbred cows with pedigree bulls are highly sought after for their fast growth and better yields. For example, Boran crosses can weigh up to 50% more than local breeds, making them ideal for meat production. For those with you who are unfamiliar with cattle economics, here's the deal. A single calf from a pedigree bull can sell from $400 to $700 and cows can produce their calves annually. It's like a dividend stock, except those dividends moo. Crossbreds with pedigrees are highly sought after by commercial farmers, making this a lucrative, stable investment for future generations. Fun fact, did you know that cows teach you patience? Their 9-month gestation period is a great reminder that good things take time. But trust me, when the herd grows, it's worth every second of the wait. And in our African culture, cattle have always been more than livestock. They are part of our identity. Whether they are used in dowries or as a symbol of wealth, a herd is a marker of success. That's why investment feels so personal. It's about preserving tradition while we are applying modern business principles. Now, the lion's share, 7K, will go into the transport sector in the part of the plan which I call investments meet black tax. For those who are unfamiliar, black tax is support that many Africans send home to family. While it's a source of pride, it can sometimes feel like a never-ending expense. That's why I want to create an asset, a transport business that generates steady income to meet those needs sustainably. The idea is simple. Buy a vehicle, put it to work, and let it pay for itself while covering my loved ones' short-term needs. I'm still ironing out the details here, but this is what I'm envisioning after talking to a business associate of mine who already owns a fleet of these. Daily earnings of $25 to $50 depending on the route, monthly revenue of $750 to $1,500, payback period of roughly 12 to 18 months. If you are invested in the transport sector, by the way, in Africa, do let me know in the comments below. We can exchange notes, so we can avoid the rookie mistake of hiring a driver who decides to start their own company with your own bus. This isn't just about making money. It's about building a plan Z, a foundation for future financial independence that thrives on Africa's unstoppable growth. In stock markets, we'll leverage Africa's economic growth and reinvesting dividends for long-term wealth. In cattle breeding, we'll be growing assets patiently, one calf at a time. And in the transport business, we'll be creating cash flows to support family and fund future ventures. Of course, every investment comes with its own challenges. Stock markets can be volatile, cattle need constant care, and the transport business is not without its risks. But with careful planning and resilience, those challenges can be stepping stones to success. But if it all goes well, these investments could not only pay for themselves, but they could also fund future ventures, creating a cycle of growth and reinvestment over the next 5 years. Here's how it all adds up. 3K in stocks will target 10 to 15% annual returns, of course including reinvested dividends. The 5K in cattle, we're expecting an annual production with each cow valued from 400 to 700. And the 7,000 in transport, we're projecting monthly revenue of 750 to 1,500 from the transport sector. If everything all goes well as planned, this 15K could grow significantly over the next 5 years, creating a plan to financial independence and I dare say, millionaire status. So what about you? If you had 15K to invest in Africa, how would you do it? Would you buy a head? Would you buy a minibus? Or would you dive in the stock markets? Share your ideas in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And if this inspired you, of course, smash the like button, subscribe, and join me as we ride the wave of Africa's growth. Cheers to the Billionaires Club. One day, we're all gonna be there.